Hey everybody, this is Joseph Egan over at GGS and we're here to talk about Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. Now, if you're unaware, this game came out roughly around 2004. It's a follow-up to first Vampire game that came out, Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which came out in the late 90s. I want to say probably 1999, could have been 2000. Both are vastly different in the gameplay. The first game was more of an isometric, top-down, click and slash kind of playing style, whereas this is more of a first or third person adventure slash action game. In a way, it kind of reminded me of Deus Ex with vampires, set in a more current setting. And basically, that's because here we have multiple classes and have multiple paths for each objective. So you can play it as a brute force. Sometimes you can stealth your way around, vampire powers, lots of different ways to finish each style of the game. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game here. Now, the interesting thing about this game was it was created by Troika Games, and Troika Games released this, and it was a hot mess when it came out. A hot mess, terrible problems, very, very buggy. Here we get to pick our character class, just to segue out to talk about what we got going on here. Here we are allowed to either take a quiz that'll, based on our answers, we'll pick the best race that we can play as, or we can just go right to what we want. It's, sometimes we pick the specials and pick a class, yeah. But I always like to pick my character class. But anyways, getting back to where I was talking about before, Troika releases a game that's a hot mess. They turn around and instead decide to release a patch, version 1.2. It's the only patch that ever came out officially, and it still didn't fix all the problems. So long story short, modders over the last 8+ years now have been patching the game. And there's been two modding classes. There's one called the True Patch by Test Mage, and then there's another patch by a guy called West 5. And both of them have argued, and there's fanatics on both sides of the wall, whose patch is better, whose patch is more authentic. I've played with both of them. I think they're both fine. Personal preference. The one thing is, if you download the Test Mage, there's two different versions. There's a plain Jane one, or there's a one that adds a lot of visual upgrades in the way of movie. We're not going to play with that much. I'm not that much of a player. Some might think I'm not that much of a player. But anyways, either patch you choose, you should get at least one of them and install them. They allow you to do things like bump up the resolution. Like right now I have this running at 1920 by 1200. This game was originally set to run not on widescreen. It was for 4:3 aspects. So that was one of the big things, the resolution patcher. And it also has a ton of fixes. A ton of fixes. Cleans up a lot of content, is lot lines. Doesn't add anything. The West 5 one, I believe, it comes in two versions. It used to be it came when you picked one flavor, and it was a flavor where you had to, it modified some content and added some stuff in the development. Again, perfectly up to you. I'm playing with the Test Mage one here, just for sake of it was already installed. So anyways, here we're in our character screen. And I have a long story behind all my characters, so I might put female, but that's for another one. Here we can do Bruja, we can do Gangrel, we can do Malkavian. Malkavian is very interesting. And we will come back to that here at the end, towards the end, just to see. There are some very interesting things with Malkavian. If you're familiar with the pen and paper game that this is based on, Malkavian sort of be fucked up. And loosely on the edge of crazy. And what Troika did to implement that in the game is awesome and hysterical, all in one dice roll. And Nosferatu is interesting too because of their looks, they stand out and they get in a lot of trouble because of their visibility. So they're very, if you want a challenge, the Nosferatu is a very good class for challenge. But you have the Venture, you have the Tremere, Torador. I normally go with the Bruja or the Gangrel. They're kind of my play style. I like to play a little more melee. I'm not abject to using weapons. But I like to use a mix between melee and the vampire power. So we're going to go with Bruja. And here we get to pick how we want to be laid out here. So you get attributes based on the character class that you're in. Well, these categories will change because I'm picking someone that's a little more physical in nature. I don't get any social stats at the beginning. And I get more in the talent and the skills and less in the knowledge. So I'm going to go with strength, and I'm going to bump up dexterity a little bit. And here, I'm going to go ahead and bump up intelligence. We definitely want brawl. I like intimidation. And I'll bump up brawl twice. And again, I'm going to go with melee here. And stealth. And computer, because hacking can be very interesting. Later on, we'll probably get some more of these bumped up. As for the powers, I'm going to go with prudence, because I am using stealth. It allows me to boost up my attack powers. You can also turn on automatic leveling, which will automatically spend your points, or as I have it off, so I can manage my points. Over here we kind of get an idea of where we stand, these skills, and our powers. So right now my intimidate's a little high, and I got a little extra on bashing, and a lot of people went up. And when you highlight these, it shows you the skills that they come from, so you can see, hey, what's getting boosted, and it'll highlight and tell you what categories are related to those. So if you didn't know what these translated into, you could go over here and kind of get an idea of, oh, that's the categories I have to spend to build that up, so on and so forth. Now, I love the fact that this begins with how every vampire transformation is. Very weird and kinky sex, apparently. Apparently, if you're in kinky sex, you're going to get turned into a vampire. At least that's what this tries to tell me. Now, some of the graphics in the game are a little dated. They look old. They're not as good as they could be. Personally, I think they're fine. I think they're okay, especially the characters. They got some jagginess to them here and there, but I think like facial animations really look good. Especially when you get in close, you can see some great facial animations. And this guy kind of turns into, he's kind of a dick. He runs the Camarilla, which is apparently the society that tries to pass rules and regulations for vampires and how they can conduct themselves. These are all characters that we'll end up meeting later in the game. Some of them you end up having to side with at some point. Some before the end of the day you'll end up fighting against.
My permission was never sought at all. They were caught shortly after the embrace of this child.
Like I said, for a 2004 game, it still looks pretty good. You know, it doesn't look half bad. Like I said, it's old, but it's not terrible. I do like the voice work in the game. And I also have some really good music in it. This was one of the first games that really got me into soundtracks in video games. Before this, I never really paid much attention to music. But this is a game that I had to find the soundtrack for, because it wasn't something that was sold. But it's really, really good. The ambient music, all the areas you go through is really good. It's nice to have in the background when you're working on something. But I really like the music in this game. And the story is really good as well. Testament to this game, I've probably played through it to completion at least 4 times. At least 4 times. And it doesn't matter. I play it again and again. It's one of my favorite games. It's just got it's the idea of capturing these vampires and having them in today's society and interacting with these characters that are interesting and have crazy, you know, power grabs and struggles, seeing how the vampire world is just as political and corrupt and all about business, just like our daily lives. It's really, really good. I really enjoy this game. And I was kind of sad that Troy never got a chance to get another shot at this. You know, it was a game that Activision took a risk on. It didn't sell great. But, you know, if you're seeing it on Steam, Gamefly, Origin, any of these download services, you know, it goes on sale anywhere between $2.50 and $5. It is worth your while to pick it up. Definitely worth it. Now, we're going to get ready to come up on a character here real quick, but first I should show the idea that you can switch. You can actually play this game through either perspective, third person or first person. Personally, I like the third person, but the choice is up to yours. Here's a very familiar voice if you're a fan of Futurama or Gears of War. That is John DiMaggio. I think that's his name. Voice of Marcus Phoenix and Bender. It's funny, I remember I was showing my wife a picture of this guy. He reminded me of Opie from Sons of Anarchy. Dialogues all driven by multiple choice, 1, 2, 3. Later on, you'll see choices that get highlighted in colors, and those are based on skills of intimidation and seduction. I always suggest that you do the tutorial. Even if you played it before. And the biggest reason is you get the lockpick, which is invaluable when you're starting. If you don't get the lockpick in the tutorial, you don't get it for a little while. So it's always wise to do the tutorial. I always wondered if they made that an incentive to do the tutorial. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like it. Lots of good dialogue in this game too, with all the characters. Alright. Yeah, now this game's all based on your health and your blood pool controls, how you can use your vampire power. Blood, the ability to use the powers. So, we gotta go find this dude. And that's your feed meter at the top. You get this bar and you're feeding. You want to take as much of that as you can to fill your blood bar. You don't want to kill them. Unless they're bad guys. If they're bad guys, you kill them. In this instance, you want to take what you need, let them go before the bar goes in. There's a humanity scale in the game. And if you lose all your humanity, game's over. So it's just a way to kind of have to live inside the rules of the Camarilla. So we're going to go over this dude, and we're going to feed him. As you can see, as I'm feeding, the bar goes down on him. As he gets drained, I get pumped up. So I might not go all the way on this, because I don't want to kill him. Victims normally end up dazed and confused. So back to Jack. You know what, we're going to go with the sarcastic answer. Don't mind my slowness. When you talk for a long time, you gotta have some sort of refreshment. Yeah. Well, I think that there's still a lot of good animation and so forth in this. You can see its age and the polygon counts and the arms and stuff like that. This was one of the first games to use the Source engine outside of Valve. But it was hampered by the hacking scandal, if you remember that. They, when Valve got hacked and they delayed Half-Life for like a year, this game was almost completed, but it wasn't allowed to come out. It wasn't allowed to come out because of the hacking, because they had a stipulation in their contract that said Half-Life 2 had to be the first Source game out of the gate. So that kind of sucked. We're going to jump up here. I'm going to attempt to jump up here. there is the most luck. And now, how did we get to hear the first little thing about one of the clans, the Sabbats? The Sabbats are a very gung-ho club of vampires, or species of vampires. They don't live there. Get into a lot of fights. And grunts normally have a life expectancy of about 5 minutes as a vampire. So that kind of sucks.
No time for political rundown. Job one, get out of here alive. Spot might be mindless, but they hit like a Mack truck.
Obviously, we're not going to play through 50 hours of this game tonight. A good playthrough, going through every little bit of story that you can find in there. You're looking at about 40 to 50 hours of gameplay in a single run. And suffice to say, there are 3 endings to this game. If I remember correctly. 3 or 4. And all are really good. And all, I believe, pivot on a choice about 9/10 of the way through. So it's not very hard to go back and see all of them. But I would recommend seeing them with different playthroughs. You know, this is the kind of game that I break out once a year and I'll play through. And you know, if you're really dedicated to it, you can finish it in a week or 2. So, we got our lockpick. So we're going to go over here, and it's a very sophisticated system for hacking a door, or pickpocketing a door. Click and wait. Yeah, there's no menu. You can get some achievements, now here's a weird thing. When you go in and you do something like that, like hacking or whatnot, or picking the lock on a door, it sets you back to first person. Again, not a huge thing. But again, one of those weird, quirky bugs.
Cool. Now, if you want a lesson on how really not to hack, take notes from those Sabbat asshole. Big bad vampire. Yeah, great, congrats. Now keep it to yourself. You go roar, you put your chest out. What you expect? It's the same reason you don't let humans see you feeding. It's why the wolf doesn't want the sheep to know he's there. It's also why you don't go juggling dumpsters.
And there are a lot of rules to this when you're playing it. Like he's talking about the feeding in public and whatnot. You can end up in some very messy situations if you don't follow those rules. Very messy. Not terrible, but you know, it can make a manageable situation difficult, to say the least.
That party back there with the guy in the suit with the killer gorilla, the assholes that put your sire to death, that's the Camarilla.
Now there's 4 distinct areas in this game too. There's Santa Monica, which is where you start. As he told you, you're going to head out to Santa Monica and you're going to handle some problems that they've got going on there. And each area will have a main quest line that you're on and then a bunch of side quests that you can get into. And you'll want to do most of those just to help boost your leveling and experience points and whatnot. But there's Santa Monica, which is where you start, and there's downtown, downtown LA, which is a very interesting place. There's some very interesting characters and completely optional side missions there that you don't have to do, but they definitely assist. You know, with giving you some more backstory. Yeah, because remember how we were told never to write our passwords down. Nobody ever listens to that. Oops. Wrong key. So, since we got this guy, now we could have just hacked this too. But we're not going to. We will type the password in. Because we're nice enough to write it down. These DOS menus. There we go. Gotta hide the keys.
There we go. Now take that key out the back.
Anyway, so there was downtown LA. Then there is, you go to Hollywood from there. There's a very creepy cemetery in it. And then lastly is Chinatown. And towards the end there's some backtracking between a few of the places. But it's all manageable. Jack doesn't know how to take care of business. Too bad the Uzi disappears, or the, yeah. Could have been a Mac 10. I don't know. I love the fact that it just disappears. Like, I wanted that guy.
Fucking waste of our life, you son of vatos. You wait. Hey, look at them potholes. Those will close up soon enough. Better beat, though. There's someone down the stairs here. Not the freshest catch, but it'll do.
Apparently there's a tear of blood. Richie rich people are the best one to get. But can't get those. Bombs are always nice too.
Juice bags with a pedigree. That's the good stuff. But you gotta take what you can get. You ever had a PhD kid? Ooh, that's good stuff. Remember what I said though. Don't kill them. At least not the innocent ones. You're a monster now. Make no mistake. One of the damned and the fallen. You need to hold on to every last shred of humanity you have. And innocent's an innocent. If you kill one, even a worthless bum, even by accident, it's gonna cost you a piece of your own humanity. Get closer to that beast you got welling up inside you. The beast is always there, waiting to take over. When it does, it's like a wild animal wearing your skin. Desperate, scared, reckless. They'll do anything to survive, and it's you that has to deal with the consequences. I said innocent humans. If some asshole levels a 12 gauge your way, you drain him, skin him, and bash in his skull.
Nice.
Conservation is a vital part of humanity after all.
Nothing like skin and drain and back to the skull.
The only way to fight the beast is to keep in touch with your humanity and don't go under. It's a fine line. Alright, now go feed. Careful. He's gonna drain you
Wow.
fast.
This game, towards the end, one of the last boss battles too that you end up running into, might have one of the worst deals in how you beat something. Oh, by the way, the crappier the blood, the quicker it gets drained. But there's a gimmick in the last boss battle where it's like, if you don't beat the boss soon enough, it spawns another one. I think I spent 20 minutes on that battle.
I'm gonna try.
So now we gotta go find a rat. There we go. Rats can give you a quick boost, but probably don't want to have to eat rat blood all the time. It's kind of gross.
someone around the way here.
Yeah, eating rats must be the equivalent to being vegans in this game.
Threat by himself, but you never know if there's more in shouting range. You're gonna have to sneak past. The building across from us with the garage door. There's some double doors on the far side. I'll meet you inside. Just stay low and stick to the shadows, and don't let him see you. All right, go.
And stealth mission. It's not terrible. Get a little decibel meter over there. Yeah, we're gonna wait for him. Okay. So now we've done this thing, move over here. And it's
Quiet, they're inside.
well, the fact that we had to do that sneaking, he just ended up magically appearing in the building. Thanks, Jack. Why didn't you let us just follow me?
Don't worry, he's probably greener than you. The Sabatis, they don't have the most rigorous training program. In fact, that poor sod is lucky if he knows he's a vampire. He's probably just turned and beaten over the head. They like to do that. Like shock troops, cannon fodder, put him out of his misery. He is a vampire, so be ready. Go get him.
So let's go. Let's see. I think. I thought that there was a tire in here, but I guess not. He had the tire. That's right. So. That's function keys control all of our stuff. Let's go back and talk to Jack. Yep.
That's that. Sounds like you got another pack moving on though. Sabata going all out. Better head underground. Avoid straight bullets. Alright, head down into the basement through the grate in there. Keep that tire iron handy. I'll be there in a minute.
That's right. Let's go over here. Oh, I should have walked on it. Ah, I really can sneak up on things. And have the game break on us. I did. But now I think the game might be broken. Let's there. See what I mean about bugs?
Not sure what's going on. It sounds like the Sabat's getting scattered. I'm gonna keep an ear to the ground. Be careful going forward here. Could be a whole mess of them hold up.
Again, very hot technique. Huh. Oh, that's right. I have to, I'm not smart enough for that, so I need to, what, which gives me a boost to all my skills. And boom, I was gonna unlock the building. So now it's going to show us how to use all of them.
I think they're clear out. No need to go stirring up the hornet's nest till we know the score, though. Head through here. Come to an elevator around the way. Meet you there. Don't let them catch you.
Look at my trusty whiskey here. And took care of proper business. Let's give him come a little closer, shall we? Dang it. Huh. Yeah. As you can see, I'm having problems. Could just be I'm making too much noise. Right. I'm gonna get it eventually.
Fucking humans. Gangbangers protecting their turf. Oh, man. I'm here thinking it's Sabat moving up in here. It's the fucking locals about to take one for the hood.
So I'm gonna get us out of here into Santa Monica here in just a second.
Too much. Here, take this 38. Fucking piece you. Shots take down a human.
And then once we do that, we're gonna go back real quick and look at the Malkavians real quick. So we'll have to see the intro again, but I just wanted to show you the dialogue stuff with Malkavian. It's very, very hilarious.
Children's gotta keep up with the times. And in modern day Los Angeles, that means coming strapped. Well, yeah, some are more lethal than others, of course. Watch out for those shotguns, Alex. Those things get smart.
Yeah. As he states there,
What's left of them? Can't have them running their
you are a vampire, but you have got to watch out for shotguns. Shotguns will fuck your shit up. Oh. So, I got it. Shoot. I don't like using weapons like this. So we're gonna take the elevator up. And we're gonna find out that LA gangbangers are fucking up the scene here. Now, this is what I was talking about before. Intimidation, seduction, and persuasion. Some ammo, go back and top the jack.
Just like that, it's all. Everyone slinks back to their corners in the city for the night. Until the next night.
Yay, we got some experience points that we can rotate skills.
Well, to be honest, came at an interesting time, let's say. The Camarilla and the Survivor. Now, in LA, these are the new kids on the block. There's already plenty of kindred had stakes down in California long before that. Now, we got every ancient kindred rivalry playing out all over the city. A lot of tension out there.
And it kind of sucks. I don't know if we'll ever see CG in this game.
High-strung predators clinging to their little pieces of
I
eternity.
mean, I believe Activision still owns the license for the franchise, but I just don't know if they think there's anything there, which is kind of sad. I mean, if you talk to anybody that's played the game,
I'll fill you in on the politics. That's the stuff that'll kill you. Good luck.
if you talk to anybody that has actually played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, it's very rare when I come across people that hate it. Anyways, this is your days in Santa Monica. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. There is a TV that has some interesting news content on it that you may want to watch. Computer and so forth. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and save my location. It does auto-save as you go along. See, I actually auto-save here. As soon as we got to the pawn shop. I'm going to go ahead and save it manually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the new menu. And we'll have to watch a little bit of the beginning for the but it's worth it. It's really worth it. So we're going to say Octavian. So, playing. See, now here's the thing. Notice how we don't have physical skills here, but we have some more. We have social skill now. We get extra on the mental side. So I'm going to do intelligence and perception. And I always get Octavians. Again, yeah, still and knowledge, no computer, investigation, scholarship. And then I want to think pops of these kids. It's fun. We'll just wait for this real quick. It won't take very long. We won't let you skip past some of the stuff in the beginning. No matter how many times you've seen it.
I want to show you something.
that's it. But this Malkavian girl was running around, cheerleading out there.
Good evening.
Now there are a ton of mods out there for this game too. We'll talk about that one. We're gonna get to the dialogue here. Actually, somebody has created a companion mod where you can actually have like a party of 4. I believe somebody patched in some co-op stuff. As I mentioned before, the test mage stuff, they have a bunch of news if you're into that. But they also have some updates for the club music and some clubs you go into. Because there's some licensed music used in the clubs. You have that. You have some weapon modifications and outfit modifications and so forth. They're okay. I haven't tried most of them. A lot of times I go for more of the appearance stuff. Like you can download, different sets for these characters. Some people have tried to make them look like certain people. But it's interesting. As you can see there, because now I'm playing the Malkavian isn't sitting in the front row anymore. It's going to different classes of the game.
Lest we endanger all of our blood.
But it is really cool. It does. The game ties together a very interesting story, politics. Tons of stuff, and it's fun. I can't stress it enough. I know there's going to be people that look and say, "Oh, hey, I'm not making any money off this." I just think it's fantastic. I just want to see more people play it. I mean, that's the primary thing. Let's see more. Let's see political strife here. He's going to kill the child, but he can't because all these people stood up to cause conflict, and so he's trying to play nice, but it's all about politics. Very interesting.
Thank you all for attending these proceedings, and I hope their significance is.
So anyways, we're about to see our Malkavian dialogue, so hopefully my hype out here hasn't oversold it. As you can see, there's a wonderful glitch right there, where nobody walks to the door, and nobody's in the hallway like they're supposed to be. So even with all the patching, there's still bugs in there. Just not a bunch of terrible bugs. And it's enough that you can get past it. When the game first came out, even with the 1.2 patch, there were points where you could not continue in the game. There was a point where I had to use a no-clip at almost the very end of the game because there was a locked door I could not open. You had to move this big, locking stick. You had to pick it up and slide it to the side, and it wouldn't move. It was like stuck in place. I get it clipped into the door and couldn't be moved. So I actually had to use a no-clip to go through the door.
But the opportunity to transcend the fate woven by your sire. This is your trial. You will be brought to Santa Monica. There you will meet an agent by the name of Mercurian. He will provide the details of your labor. I've shown you great clemency. Prove it was more than a wasted gesture, fledgling. Don't come back until you do.
And long way, good little factoids there. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let's get our Malkavian. Matter of fact, he comments on the dialogue specific to the Malkavian. And there are some unique events if you play Malkavian and you run into certain people. You get some unique dialogue options different from all the other classes because of the Malkavian. And you're about to see why. Here you go. You like that?
What? Oh, man. And you're a goddamn Malkavian, too. Wow.
They speak in gibberish and rhyme.
I'm Jack. What's important is I'm offering help. You make it back from Santa Monica with your high.
It's pretty fun.
Until then, I got about this much time. Where
I shall undertake your tutelage.
all right. Now, we ain't got much time, but I figure somebody's who's
So, with that, I think we're gonna end where we're at here. But that's my little thing. Great game. I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the discussion here today with this. And look forward to more of these look backs at classic games from the archives. I think it's important that we look back at some of these games, and some of them are just overlooked. I mean, classic games like this, that because they didn't sell well, they're overlooked by a lot of people, and they've kind of been forgotten by time. And even with that, there's a passionate community out there that keeps games like Bloodlines here going, because they have a passion for it, and they keep updating. And they're doing it on their own time, with their own money, because of that passion. But, like I said, this is the first of hopefully many where we look back at old classic games and give you a little flavor of how they affected us, and interesting tidbits about the game and whatnot. So, if you find these interesting, please make sure to come to www.ggsgamer.com, come visit the site, comment on the videos, comment on the articles, and let us know that you enjoy these features. We're definitely trying to get more of these, and we're going to start to try to incorporate things like video reviews and so forth on the site as well. Make sure you subscribe to all of our podcasts, especially if you like the work stuff, which now Stitcher, Xbox Audio, iTunes, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GGS Gamer, where you can see all of these videos that we're going to be posting soon. And with that, this is Joe Hagan, bidding you a good night and farewell until the next one.